This is for you. If you have convinced yourself that you are more spiritually advanced than you truly are. You might not admit this to yourself even, but at some point you will receive some reflection from life that confronts you with the truth. And when that happens, you have a choice. Because it's tricky to go against the ego when it has convinced itself of its reality, so much so that you think that you are that. All of these stories of what has happened, then that has built and it has caught momentum, so that everything that you're talking about is from the past and what happened in this time and that time, and that's why this. So you are making stories of what happened. The spiritual ego can be a little sneaky fucker. Oh, can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. And can be a sneaky bugger. Oh, hilarious. You know, and this is the thing also. Projecting. So, it's actually it's what beings are experiencing as narcissism, because it's someone so dominantly projected outward, controlling the outside environment, needing the outside environment to fit the narrative so much, and it uses so much force to convince the outer reality that it is otherwise. So it sort of trumps over, just the same as happened when they were a child. They were trumped over. And so now they are adults and they think that's the best way to show love, because that's how they received love. That's the automatic. Not seeing why, right? Going down to the body's wisdom. And for that you have to feel. It's a totally different sense. You have to stop with that projection stuff. You know? And this is the thing with that energy also. We could feel it today. We were dealing with someone today that did that to us. And that's why all of this has come up. We have noticed it. And it's interesting. It was a call. This is what it is how we experience this. It feels to the body as intrusive. But then we also hear behind the intrusiveness is the soul crying for help to be corrected into something that is more correct to do with the body. There is that cry for help underneath that. All this pretending to be okay, when there is all these energies, which is the person's shadow. When you are embodied, this is why so many beings are confused also about this. Sometimes it's like, there's so much going on, I can't even put a finger on it. Right? Because the body can feel so much. Where do we even start to address all this? One thing at a time. One step at a time. But we have to first acknowledge where we're at. Unless we acknowledge truly our relationship between who we are, the conscious, the person that's speaking and all of that stuff, fantasizing about all stuff, that part is only one part. and you can force the narrative onto your body and then push the energy through, which is very forceful. People don't like that. This being certainly doesn't like that. It doesn't feel good at all. Feels very controlling and demanding, and it recognizes having done that to people. Because I used to be exactly the same. So I know how to push people. I just rather not now. You know? But sometimes that energy comes out. Why? Are we not spiritually advanced? Aren't we supposed to be in Zen, however people operate? No, absolutely not. What is being asked of you to inject here? In order to what? Not balance out the counterbalance and then have it ping pong. No. What is needed to harmonize? What is needed to fully recognize that, fuck, I haven't really taken care of my body as much as I thought that I had. And yeah, of course it's not going to feel good. Do you think the body has felt good? You neglecting it for all these years, forcing it to do what you want to do, not caring really anything about what we want to do? Your body has memories. And unless you do something, you're just gonna follow along with the sheep and do exactly what everyone else is doing. That is the automatic, that is the dualistic perspective. And it doesn't matter how much you hide in the intellect, thinking that you're spiritual because you've had this experience and that experience from the past, bringing it back here now, talking about the past as if it is now when it's not. You are stuck in the past then, because you keep bringing the past with you. You're not living now. Then, you know what the remedy is. It is to connect with the body now, not bring memories from the past or how grand we are because we have neglected our body, because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel what is truly going on for these precious bodies. When you have twisted perceptions like that, you are pushing all of that onto other people, thinking that it's someone else, when it's in fact your own erroneous thinking and the way that you're using your energy. Because you're not seeing clearly what you're doing with your energy. That's what we say when the energy is very spiky. People don't like it. People that are embodied can feel that and they go the other way. That's why animals, they don't just come close to any human. It's only humans that either they have some kind of symbiotic relationship that works in a certain way, or that you're open enough to be connected to the same frequency that they are operating in, connected to Gaia. This is not a mental game. This is not about creating another mental ego of how to have to behave. The same as what all religious texts have been up until now. There have been things that someone holds on top of our heads. You have to abide by these. And then we're sitting here feeling, yeah, but like something's not jiving here with what's going on. You know, we can feel it. And that's the thing. We have to trust our feelings. We have to get to trust our feelings again. That's the only way forward, actually. when we truly actually take responsibility for how we use our own energy. That's the only thing that can take all of that spiritual knowledge, because many of you are so connected. Of course, it's not for nothing. It's not that that is not important. It's just that you've made that more important than the body. That's why things are not jiving in your life, and you're not a cooperative component for human consciousness growth. You're more just interested in thinking, which is just one frequency of operation, and it can only get you so far. At some point, you have to accept that, oh fuck, I really thought that I got this game, but fuck, do I have to be human too? Yeah, that's the whole game. It's not about like being Jesus and ascending as if it's like Superman and the angels just flying around being so much grandiose than what we are. It's not about that. That's the perception of the ego, distorted. And then it wants that because it thinks that it's outside of him, when it's just his own psychology that's just done that. And you can easily reverse it. The antidote is to make your body your project. Not because you need fixing, but because you want to be able to maneuver these magnificent spaceships looking like human bodies in ways that is the way that it's meant to be. Our intuition is meant to be able to see X-ray vision into bone, even in another human, in your own. There are so many capabilities of these human systems. But we have to be balanced for that. We can't pretend. The beings that are embodied, they can feel that. That is a part of this ascension, to be able to feel that. People call it intuition as if it's magic. It is just more information. Being able to discern information, having reference points from Gaia, working out all of this, landing who you are. And that doesn't mean ideas of what happened or what this or what that. It's about how can you inject and truly be of service here to the beings around you, not by convincing them of whatever reality you see. It's about seeing the truth, acknowledging that, I was not aware that I was doing that. Thank you so much. No one has loved me enough to tell me the truth like that. Thank you. That is what the truth is. The truth is soul medicine. It is what the body needs to hear for the soul to land. Sometimes that comes forcefully because the energy comes at like that, and is to show that this energy, I can also use this energy, but I can inject what you're doing as well, just so that you get that if this is how you want to hear, then of course we can also respond with that energy. But know that you don't have to use your energy like that. It is a process when you have been overly focused on the thinking and being completely in it. That's why the Matrix resonated for so many. This red pill, blue pill moment, It's real for people. And it's these types of moments when you have been in there for so long, taking the blue pill, even if it was wrapped in spirituality, using the lingo. Of course, it's easy to get fooled if you're still thinking, because you have no reference point to what reality truly is. You can only get that through the body. And your body, Gaia, you get to truly learn the language of the land, and she will tell you. That's what awaits you with this integration. That's what we wanted to share. That was it. And what we're seeing here is a full-on rainbow. And today it is a completion, meaning the 13th cycle has come to a completion energetically. And these are the cycles of exactly what we're dealing with here. Because this is how you get more energy, by correcting these things. When you correct these things that we're pointing out, every single one of you that is either booking a free energy read or investing in the Holistic Optimizer or purchasing these Heya sessions, they're all the same. They're all corrections of consciousness so that you can land who you truly are. If you're interested to get a personalized Heya session, very specifically tailored to you, then what you can do is that you can, first of all, if you haven't already, sign up for the free 28 days of consciousness shift. This is where, if you haven't already, we start to prepare your system to integrate your being into being in the holistic perspective. We're sort of preparing your system for that. So sign up for that. There's a link in the bio. And then any of the emails all the way down in the footer, there is a book, an energy read, book a free energy read. And you can just do that. And I'll see you there. All right. Take care.